Hey guys, and welcome to the next tutorial. Today what we're going to be looking at is how to create a simple fidget spinner. Now there are different variations of the fidget spinner. We're going to look at a basic one, and basically from there you can make your own designs. There are a few things that we need to take into consideration, and for example I've drawn up all my measurements and I know how much each thing is. So for example, we know that the height of the extruded fidget spinner is going to be around about 7 mils. We know that the bearing is about 22 mils in diameter. So we need to make sure that it fits inside the place inside of the fidget spinner so that it will fit nicely. We also need to create a cap, and we'll have to print 2 caps so we can put on both sides of the bearings. Anyways, let's just get started with a new Fusion document. So we'll start with getting into the top view, okay, and we'll start by creating a rectangle. Okay, so we're just going to click this plane over here so that we can get started. Now the size of this rectangle is going to be 30 by 28 mils. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create the first arm of this fidget spinner. So I'm going to grab the circle tool, okay, and the shortcut for using circle is by pressing C. I'm going to find the center point, and then I'm going to type 28 to get that diameter, and you can see that it automatically links up with the edge of this because this is 28 mils as well. Now we need to make a smaller circle in there, so I'm going to press C again, and this time this is going to be 22.3 mils. Now this is where the bearing will go. We know the size of the bearing is 22 mils in diameter, but because of the printer and how it prints, we need to give it a little bit of space to overflow. If this needs to be changed, then you can always come back in here and you can change the settings accordingly. So we need to repeat that on the other side. So circle tool again, okay, 28 mils for our first circle, and then 22.3 for our next circle. Now once we have that is the basis for the rest of the fidget spinner. So this is going to be one arm, and then we're just going to use circular pattern to rotate it around. So what we need to do is we need to extrude all of these things. Now not everything, but a lot of these things. So we're going to go to create extrude, or you can press E on your keyboard, and I want you to click all of these different parts of the shape. Now the distance, which is going to be the height, is 7, and now when you orbit around you can see that now we have some height in that fidget spinner. Okay, so now once we have that, what we want to do is we want to be able to use the circular pattern to rotate this around this design. So to do that, we will need to go back to create, pattern, circular pattern, and what you want to do is you want to change the pattern type to the entire body, and the axis that it's going to rotate around, I want you to click on this part. Now you can see that if I increase the quantity, I can now create all of these intricate designs. Okay, and as you can see that the circular pattern, it will wrap around that axis. So we're just going to keep it at 3 for now, and when you're done you can press OK. So the fidget spinner is looking pretty much finished. Okay, the only other thing that we want to do is we want to combine all these things together. So what we need to do is we need to go to modify, combine, and you want to highlight all the parts of the fidget spinner and make sure that you click on join. When you're done, press OK. So now we have one solid piece. So now what we need to do is we need to create the fillet, and basically the fillet is like a little curved edge that doesn't make it so sharp. So to do that, we will need to go to modify, fillet, or you can press F, and what we're going to do is we're going to select both of these lines, so this line here and also this line here. Now if you just move the arrow in, you can see that it's already trying to, you know, create that curve. But we want to create a fillet radius of probably about 3.5, and that gives us a nice perfect curve on both sides. So now we have to repeat that process again. So F for fillet, click on both of those lines, 3.5, and finally the last one, F for fillet. Okay, click on both those lines, 3.5, and there we have it. Now you can add more fillets to anything else if you really wanted to, but that's the basic design so far. The final thing that we have to do is we have to create the cap. Now to do that, we are going to create a new sketch, okay, and we're going to work on the top plane, and we're just going to, you know, pick a space over here. So the cap, if you go back to our measurements, you can see that it's pretty much 3 circles. So we're going to start here with a first circle of 22. Okay, then we're going to create another circle which is going to be a diameter of 11, and then our final circle is going to be 8.15. okay, and then we have to extrude that all individually. So I'm going to start with the first circle here, and that needs to go to a height of 5.5. okay, now if your sketches are all gone, you can go back and you can turn them on by clicking this little light icon over there. Then I'm just going to go to the first circle, and that height is only 2.5 mils, and then finally the middle circle is a height of 3 mils. So that is going to be our little cap. Now the last thing that we can do on this is add another fillet. So we're just going to click on the fillet tool, click on the outer circle, and maybe make it about 3.5 as well. So now when you print this, you will need 2 copies of that cap to put on either side of the fidget spinner. But anyways guys, that's pretty much it. This is a very simple tutorial on how to create a very simple fidget spinner using Fusion 360. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.